making its way down into Illinois. Peoria 10 and light snow there, and the Quad Cities also seeing light snow, and it is 6 degrees there. And there's the big picture showing you this thing zipping right along, not very far away from Chicago, where we expect about 1 to 3 right near downtown, but it's going to be a lot heavier farther south and west, as much as 5 to 8 near Joliet. And that being triggered by this low pressure that's coming along, moisture moving in and over top of the cold air. It's being lifted along that pressure slope created by the cold, and along with that we get that stripe of snow leading right into the Ohio Valley and the southern lakes later tonight and early tomorrow morning. Kim, Kelly, over to you.
All right, thanks, Carl. There is no doubt about it. It's cold, and braving those winter elements can require some planning and a lot of extra layers.
This is horrible. It's not surprising for Minnesota, but I'm still not prepared for it.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 69. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy skies early. A few showers may develop in the afternoon. High 80. Chance of rain 30%. Tuesday night, cloudy with a few showers. Low 65. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Good Monday evening, everyone, and thanks so much for being with us on Weather Center Live. I'm Kim Cunningham.
And I'm Kelly Cass. After a weekend filled with severe weather, 12 confirmed tornadoes, we are starting this week on a very chilly note.
Frigid, in fact, with snow on the way for several states and 2 blasts of Arctic air that will have much of the country below freezing this week.
In fact, just take a look at where the freezing line will set up. This is not only cold air, this is Arctic air that will have much of the country below zero. That's a look at what Thursday morning is going to look like. In fact, it's all going to start out on Wednesday morning. At least 30 million people will be experiencing this dangerous cold air, and these temperatures can be downright deadly. Remember to bring those pets inside, check on your neighbors. Earlier today, we caught up with some people on the streets of Minneapolis to see how they feel about the frigid air that's already in place ahead of these Arctic blasts.
I feel I just want to stay inside. I hope they cancel school tomorrow. And it's too cold out here. It's ridiculous.
Super, super cold, like 10. Like, it's like really, really, really cold outside. Like, I wasn't even going to come outside, but it's super cold. Even though I've been in Minnesota my whole life, I still can't take this cold.
Well, if you think it's cold now, just wait for what's to come later this week. Kim is tracking not 1, but 2 Arctic blasts. Right, Kim?
Right. And, you know, we have seen actually some schools actually close because of the cold. I mean, you think about the kids waiting outside for the buses. Those are the things you have to think about over the next couple of days, even in the South. You know, the kids, they have their winter coats. Maybe they don't fit from last year. You could rush to the store, and I'll tell you, it's tough to find winter coats sometimes in the wintertime here in the South. So we're looking at Pittsburgh 24 below. Actually, not below. We're looking at temperature change. We'll look at temperatures in just a second, but 24 degrees colder than yesterday at this time. That's a huge change. Charlotte, 17 degrees colder. Roanoke, 23. Nashville, 12. So a lot of us dealing with a big change in temperature from yesterday. So currently, we're at 14 in Pittsburgh. Chicago went up a degree. We're up to 4 degrees right now. But you know what? The wind chill. Don't forget about that. We factor that in. It feels colder than that in these cities. So the first shot came through. So we're dealing with that now. But it's this one. This is the one that is going to bring us the coldest air of the season. And we are seeing our jet stream all the way into the deep south. And we're talking about way below average temperatures for a lot of us. This Arctic air, this very dry air coming in. So Bismarck, 9 degrees tomorrow. That's it. We're going to see the cold air spreading back into Chicago, 1 degree for your high. That might be early in the morning. Pittsburgh at 15 degrees. And then look at this, Atlanta only 34. And we're going to talk about your lows coming up in the hour. Kelly?
So how do you actually prepare for this Arctic cold? And will this deep freeze last long enough to have you feeling it in your wallet? NBC's Kevin Tibbles has more on the preps underway ahead of this dangerous wind chill on the way.
Well, we all knew it would get here eventually, and tonight much of the nation is shivering in this, the first Arctic blast of the new year. Winter has swept in, packing biting Arctic wind chills. Temperatures 25 degrees below normal in places.
No matter what anybody say, you don't get used to it.
Treacherous driving conditions and bone-chilling commutes.
There's icicles frozen off their faces and stuff. It's brutally cold out here.
So cold, construction stopped on the new Viking Stadium in Minneapolis. The lowest of the low in the lower 48, the tiny Grand Marais, Minnesota airport, minus 50 with wind chill. Chicago firefighters forced to call in steamers to thaw out frozen hydrants. Near Aspen, Colorado, a group of elk had to be rescued after falling through the ice. Just 60 miles separate Scottsbluff, Nebraska from Guernsey, Wyoming. Yet Guernsey was a whopping 40 degrees warmer. And on the West Coast, heavy rains and mudslides in Washington, leaving some 200 people stranded and forcing some schools to close. Schools in frostbitten Milwaukee did open, kids trudging back after the holiday. And parents take note, a dangerous double whammy's in store.
We're going to be dealing with 2 shots of Arctic chill this week. The second one will head all the way to the Gulf Coast and the East Coast.
By midweek, even in the south, temps will be 10 to 20 degrees below average. Emergency shelters are ready in St. Louis to bring the homeless in from the cold. Thinking of escaping? You'll even find snow today at higher altitudes in Hawaii. Already tonight, several interstates in Iowa have been closed due to blowing dangerous snow conditions. Here in Chicago, they stand at the ready with a battalion of 280 snowplows and salt trucks. Drivers are being asked to stay off the roads. Back to you.
Let's focus now on our named winter storm Gorgon. It's already bringing snow to Iowa tonight and will be on the move during the overnight hours. For expert analysis, let's bring in our storm specialist, Carl Parker. And Carl, we've already seen issues on the roads in Iowa.
Kelly, it's been a very tough ride home around Des Moines. A number of accidents there. Now 35 southbound is shut down. That is near Ames, well north of downtown. I-80 is now partially open. That's just north and east of downtown and east of 35. And here's the radar picture. The snow not coming down as heavily as it was. It was heavy snow for a time. Now it's light and moderate snow, but still coming down. It's very cold and it's a fine powdery snow and easily blown about. The wind's pretty consistently about 10, 15, in some cases 20 miles per hour. There's a look at the snow and the temperatures. Light snow now Peoria, Springfield, Quad Cities, moderate snow in Cedar Rapids, and it's edging closer toward Chicago. There's the larger picture, not that far away right now. Modeling showing it coming in by 9 o'clock this evening to downtown, then going on through late tonight, very early in the morning begins to wind down. All told, probably about 1 to 3 inches, but heavier amounts certainly on the south and west side of the metro area, about 5 to 8 from Joliet and southward and generally south of Interstate 80. Now in Indianapolis, the snow also developing this evening and then continuing really all night, right through the overnight, even early tomorrow morning. Still some snow going on, winding down then, but this is really going to be more near the center of the heavy snow, and so we're thinking 5 to 8 for you in Indianapolis, 3 to 5 off to the south there. It's a very, again, fine powdery snow, so it piles up more easily. And there's that larger picture showing you that little core from Indianapolis back towards Peoria and Champaign-Urbana, and then a much larger area of lighter snow extending farther to the east. Here's the timing of everything. This is the high resolution model. Low pressure coming down down and through the western lakes and into the southern part of the lakes. So it's going to get over into Cincinnati and into Cleveland tomorrow morning early. Then some lighter snow around D.C., maybe a couple of inches there. Harrisburg, same story. Lancaster, Philly, maybe an inch of snow. But then the lake effect is going to kick in the wake of all of that. And with that lake effect, we do expect to see some accumulating snow. Most likely going to be up to around several inches, maybe even a foot there coming off of Lakes Erie and Ontario. That's Tuesday and into Wednesday. Kelly, Kim, back to you.
All right, Carl, still to come on Weather Center Live. Winter storm Gorgon is impacting the Northwest in the form of rain right now.
Yeah, take a look at Seattle. It's been a foggy, cloudy, rainy kind of day. There are reports of some mudslides due to the rain in the area as well. We'll get an update coming up right after your local on the 8s.
Saving and smiling. That's how I start the year. With tons of stuff on rollback, clearance, and more at Walmart. And that really puts a smile on my face.
Thousands of items on rollback and clearance, in-store and online.
Just tell us your budget, and the Name Your Price tool helps you find a whole range of coverages. No one else gives you options like that.
No one at all. No one at all.
No one.
Wake up. You okay, buddy? I just had a dream that Progressive had this thing called...
Your budget, and the Name Your Price tool helps you find a whole...
Isn't a dream, is it? Nope.
Sorry.
You know that thing freaks me out. He can hear you. He didn't mean that, Kevin.
Yes, he did.
Keeping our competitors up at night. Now that's Progressive.
All right, so this Tylenol arthritis lasts 8 hours, but Aleve can last 12 hours. And Aleve is proven to work better on pain than Tylenol arthritis. So why am I still thinking about this?
How are you?
Get Aleve, proven better on pain.
Severe weather can strike anywhere, so the Weather Channel encourages you to get prepared for a weather emergency today. And we're making it easy for everyone. Go to connectwithweather.com. Follow the easy step-by-step instructions and create your own emergency plan. Connect with weather. Know the elements. Make your plan.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 69. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy early. A few showers are possible in the afternoon. High 80. Chance of rain 30%. Tuesday night, cloudy with a few showers. Low 65. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Wildest weather ever caught on camera.
Oh my God!
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
There's a myth out there that you can't do it all, that you can't be everything to everyone. Well, consider that myth shattered. This is the full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City, built to help you run the town from every direction.
Ever since Daryl's wife started using Gain Flings, their laundry smells more amazing than ever.
Honey, isn't that the dog's towel?
Hey, me towel, Sue towel. More Gain Scent plus Oxy Boost and Febreze for 3 big things in one Gain Fling. It's our best gain ever.
And welcome back to Weather Center Live. Take a look at the flooding and the mudslides in Washington State today. Now, these photos are courtesy of the DOT, and Winter Storm Gorgon actually brought a weekend full of rain that caused these problems. The Aberdeen-Hoquiam area was hit especially hard. Several schools were actually closed today. I'm here to tell you, though, we're going to see a break from that rainy weather in the Pacific Northwest. and we're going to explain why. Right now, though, look at how much we have seen. Seattle over a ½ inch of rain, and we're still a little bit behind for the year so far in January. Here in Olympia, 3.47. Quileute picking up close to 8 inches of rainfall. Hoquiam, 6.40. Snow levels will continue to go up, but we're seeing a mixture of rain and snow, and the avalanche threat, by the way, still here for the western slopes of the Cascades, at least through tonight. So we still have the flood warnings in effect. So all this came in a pretty short period of time, and was where we're seeing the problems. Still some scattered showers moving through Seattle in a break, but we may see a little bit more here later on tonight. And looking at the big picture of it, look at our satellite and radar combination with the jet stream overlaid on it. What we're going to see happen over the next 24 to 48 hours, the jet stream is going to lift northward. As it actually moves northward, the storm track does the same. It follows the jet stream. So we'll see the storms actually to the north of the northwest, and we're not going to be dealing with the rain. It's actually going to deepen the trough in the east. That is what's going to help bring the Arctic air into the east. So drying out and warming up in the west, getting colder and pretty miserable, I think, in the east for a lot of us. So here's the timeline on this. We'll see the rain coming in here later on today in Seattle. It'll be with us during the overnight, but by tomorrow morning, we're pretty much done, just left with some clouds as that jet stream is heading north. So we're looking at drier conditions. By Tuesday afternoon, the sun will be back out for some of us. So hang in there. Looks like drier days are ahead. As a matter of fact, here in Seattle, we're expecting it all the way through Thursday at least. Kelly?
And we're going to check out the next 7 days because it is all about the cold. We're talking well below average, even for places that are typically used to the cold. I know it's January and everything, but we're talking brutal cold in places like Chicago. Your high tomorrow, 13 degrees. Wind chills, of course, are going to be worse than that. 10 degrees in Minneapolis. There are your 20s across the Northeast in Boston and New York. Along with that, some lake effect snow. We're going to be tracking that. Some of you could see quite a bit of it. Even across the South, we are not immune to this cold front. It's sinking all the way down toward the Gulf Coast and beyond, even into northern Mexico. Folks are going to be feeling the chill. 75, though, nice degrees in Phoenix, 78 degrees in Los Angeles. System scooting into the northern Rockies, but then as you can see, it's pretty quiet in Billings as we get into Wednesday. Still the snow showers from the eastern Great Lakes on into New England. 1 degree for your high in Chicago. So you know the overnight lows are going to be well below zero. In fact, Minneapolis, you're probably not even going to get above zero for a high come Wednesday. Feeling the chill all the way down towards Atlanta and Birmingham with temperatures only in the mid-30s. Make sure the kids are well prepared at the bus stop. Make sure they got all those layers on. In some cases, the teachers will probably not let them outside for recess, especially if they're not so used to the cold in the south. But keep in mind, we're still going to have to get to and fro. So make sure everybody's well prepared. Pipes could be an issue bursting in the south as well, especially those pipes that go in from the outside walls. You might have to cover them up or just let the faucet drip a little bit. Here comes another system on Friday moving across the Lone Star State. Could be a little bit of a wintry mix with this one, especially on the northern fringes. Still looking at a little bit of rain around Lake Charles, Louisiana, back towards Houston as we get our weekend started. Here comes Sunday, and that rain is going to continue to move toward the east, even a few scattered showers along the Carolina coastline. 48 degrees for your high in Atlanta, so temperatures rebounding somewhat, but still looking pretty active and still kind of chilly, especially in those areas to the north on Monday. Kim?
Well, there's a lot more still to come on Weather Center Live. We're remembering the 2 young American skiers that were killed in an avalanche earlier today. More on these young men coming up.
If a denture were to be put under a microscope, we can see all the bacteria that still exists. Polident's unique MicroClean formula works in just 3 minutes, killing 99.99% of odor-causing bacteria for a cleaner, fresher, brighter denture every day.
Check.
Energizer protects your devices from damaging leaks, guaranteed.
Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares, come what may. I'm making a beautiful day.
You're only young once, unless you have a Subaru.
The Subaru XV Crosstrek. Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 34 mpg. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
My job is so hard on my hands.
The cracks were the worst part.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. Guaranteed relief for dry hands that crack and split.
There was a difference within just minutes of it absorbing into my skin.
Only O'Keefe's has given me the relief that I need.
Learn more at workinghands.com.
Next.
minute. Your call is important to us. Thank you for your patience.
In the nation, we know how it feels when you aren't treated like a priority. We do things differently.
We'll take care of it.
We put members first.
Thank you.
Join the nation.
Nationwide is on your side.
Olive Garden's new northern tour of Italy. 3 decadent tastes on one plate. Discover velvety slopes of fettuccine alfredo overlooking rich chicken Lombardi and hills of Asiago tortelloni, plus salad and breadsticks. Hurry in, offer ends soon at Olive Garden.
Don't miss the biggest auto event of the year, the 9th annual Boca Raton Concours d'Elegance, February 20th through the 22nd. This year, we celebrate the history of Cadillac and the 50th anniversary of the Ford Mustang. The festivities begin Friday night with our exclusive hangar party. Saturday, Howie Mandel provides the laughs following our gala dinner auction. And join us Sunday for the Concours d'Elegance, showcasing some of the world's finest antique and exotic cars and cycles. Details at bocacde.com.
With an itch or irritation, you want to be free of it fast. The power of Cortisone 10 gives you fast relief with the strongest non-prescription itch medicine, plus 7 healing moisturizers.
Now I'm itch-free.
It's good to be free. Cortisone 10. Feel the heal.
Eczema can just really put a damper on a lot of things. Constant itching and scratching. I'm not myself.
Gold Bond Eczema Relief Cream. Used daily, it's proven to relieve 5 frustrating symptoms of eczema.
Gold Bond Eczema Relief really works.
And even pay the return postage. Try NoNo risk-free today. Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by Bosch Icon Wiper Blades with ClearMax 365.
If you're driving and you can't see clearly for 1 second at 60 miles per hour, you can't see clearly for 88 feet. And a lot can happen in 88 feet. That's why Bosch created the new Icon with ClearMax 365. It's a rubber technology for longer lasting performance, not found on any other wiper blade. Because like you, Bosch cares about what's ahead.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 69. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy early. A few showers are possible in the afternoon. High 80. Chance of rain 30%. Tuesday night, cloudy with a few showers. Low 65. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tragedy in Austria tonight. 2 U.S. ski team prospects are dead, killed in an avalanche while skiing in the Austrian Alps.
20-year-old Ronnie Burlack of New Hampshire and 19-year-old Bryce Astle of Utah were caught in an avalanche at the team's European training facility. 4 other skiers survived.
Officials in the region say there was an avalanche alert in the area. Authorities say the pair was descending from more than 10,000 feet when they left the prepared slope and apparently set off the avalanche.
And you know, we're here to provide expert analysis when tragedy strikes and weather is involved. Dr. Forbes is taking you inside to break down what an avalanche is and how it actually happens.
Avalanches are big slides of slabs of snow down sloping terrain. It's a combination of weather ingredients as well as the steepness of the terrain that make for the likelihood and then ultimately the size of the avalanche. If the terrain is too steep, then you wind up having so frequent small slides that none of them become very important. If the terrain, on the other hand, is very flat, then even with gravity acting on it, it really can't pull that slab of snow down such flat terrain. But it's slopes that are in between about 25 to 60 degrees. That's when you get optimal avalanche conditions. The snowpack will build up and ultimately it'll become too heavy. The friction holding the layer together isn't enough and you'll get an avalanche, a slide of that snow down the mountain. Weather factors, they're obviously important. Each snowstorm adds new weight of snow to the snowpack, and every snow is different. There can be wet snows, dry snows, and there can be melting, thaws, and then refreezes in between that make an ice layer in between those snow layers. And ultimately, the friction is holding the top layer of snow on, but it can be overcome then once the weight gets too heavy, and there can be sliding on that icy layer. The additional weight overcomes the friction, and then down it comes, a slab of snow sliding down the mountain surface. That's what we call an avalanche. Back to you.
And we're joined now by phone with former alpine ski racer Kaylin Richardson.
Kaylin competed in the 2006 and 2010 Winter Olympics. Thank you so much for talking with us tonight. We appreciate it, Kaylin. First of all, have you skied in the Austrian Alps before, right? Haven't you?
I am actually very familiar with the Rettenbach Glacier in Fulden. It's where many of the national teams prepare before the first World Cup opener. And because it's a glacier, there's snow year-round. So I actually know exactly where they were skiing. And I think that a lot of people don't realize that in Europe, the tree line is actually a lot lower than it is here in North America. So where they were skiing, it was all white. It was all snow. So they don't really differentiate the runs like they do here in the States like they do in Europe.
Kaylin, were you surprised by what happened over there? I mean, with your experience there in the Alps?
Absolutely. I think that whenever one of these sobering reminders happen in the mountains, it always surprises us, especially for kids as young as Bryce and Ronnie. And I mean, I'm using just as much guesswork as anybody else, but I think that it was just that invincibility complex where you know, when you're in a ski racing arena, it's the most controlled, manicured environment. But right next to that, within 15 feet where it hasn't been groomed, is this uncontrolled snow. And like your expert said, if there's a persistent weak layer of faceted snow that creates that slab, all it takes is for a couple kids to ski on it and it can break. So I have a feeling that the boys knew they were going off-piste, but obviously they had no idea that an avalanche was going to occur.
We only have a few seconds left, Caitlin. We appreciate this. But why do skiers what do they look for when they hit the slopes for something like this to happen?
If you're in a resort, you definitely want to stay within bounds and just talk to the ski patrol. Look online and just have your wits about you.
All right, Kaylin, great advice. And again, our hearts and prayers go out to the families of those two young guys. Thank you so much for joining us. A very sad story indeed.
Very sad. All right, you want to turn up the heat tonight, folks. I'll tell you what, it's going to get really cold. Leave the faucets dripping. If you have to go outside, you're going to need to add several layers of clothes.
Even in the south, we're talking about brutal cold. We're also tracking snow from Winter Storm Gorgon. Lake effect snow is going to be kicking in as well. We'll have all the details coming up after the break.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
Grandpa Bodie, Grandma said you used to be out of control.
Really? I guess I did take some risks. I trained a little bit differently. I was a little too honest sometimes. The media is useless.
You were out of control.
But not always.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this.
Danger. Warning.
You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
Danger.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum. Sir, we're going to need
you on the runway.
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
Each year, 17 billion toilet paper tubes are thrown away in the U.S. alone. That's enough to fill the Empire State Building. Twice. Now there's Scott Naturals tube-free bath tissue. Get the premium softness you need without the wasteful tube. Toss the tube for good with Scott Naturals tube-free.
Hi, this is Connor. Sorry I missed you. I'm either away from my desk or on another call. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you just as soon as I'm available. Thank you for your patience at this busy time.
Join us for stargazing with Discovery at Sea. Enjoy cruises from $4.99 during our 50th anniversary sale. Call your travel consultant or 1-800-PRINCESS. Princess Cruises. Come back new.
Listen up. I'm reworking the menu. Veggies, you're cool. Mayo, corn dogs, you are so out of here.
The complete balanced nutrition of great tasting Ensure. 24 vitamins and minerals, 9 grams of protein with 30% less sugars than before. Ensure, your #1 doctor recommended brand, now introduces Ensure Active. Muscle health, clear protein drink, and high protein. Targeted nutrition to feed your active life. Ensure, take life in.
Gear up for a new season of the most controversial show on TV. This is football.
We all love football.
Friday Night Dykes. New season premieres January 20th at 9 on Esquire Network.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 69. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy early. A few showers are possible in the afternoon. High 80. Chance of rain 30%. Tuesday night, cloudy with a few showers, low 65. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera.
Oh my God!
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight. Wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on Weather Center Live. It is downright frigid in much of the country right now, and hang on because it is about to get worse.
As a matter of fact, more than 30 million people will see temperatures that will drop below zero on Wednesday morning. But before we get to that, we have a named winter storm to talk about.
That's right. In fact, a couple of cities that are seeing the effects of Winter Storm Gorgon in the coming days. Chicago, Washington, D.C. The Windy City will see the flakes fly first as the snow moves in overnight. Washington, D.C., you'll see it later in the day tomorrow. Let's get city-specific timing right now with our storm specialist, Carl Parker. Hey, Carl.
Kelly, it's not been an easy night in Des Moines. We've had a number of car accidents there that has shut down the interstates in some cases. 35 actually shut down right now, well north of town. That's near Ames. 80 was shut down. That was just east of 35. It's now back open, and generally it's moving very slowly. You notice there's not as much traffic on the roads as we saw earlier, so certainly we're at the end of the rush hour and things moving along pretty nicely. But notice that the snow is very much on the roads. Even if the roads are treated at that temperature, you don't expect to see much change in the condition of the roads. Just too cold for any sort of road treatments to work. And it's been a very fine, powdery snow. Temperatures in the single numbers right now, 6 in Cedar Rapids, 6 in the Quad Cities, now 10 in Des Moines, and 14 in Springfield. We've got mostly light snow out there, moderate snow being reported in Cedar Rapids, and there's a pretty good bit of wind as well blowing that snow about. There's the broader picture. The snow knocking on the door there in the far western suburbs of Chicago will be coming in short order. So you've got a little stripe of 3 to 5 from eastern Iowa down through central Indiana and southern Ohio. Then within that, talking about 1 to 3 in Chicago, and then a little more on the southwest side of town. And then in Indianapolis, we're talking about 5 to 8 inches. This is going to be developing in the next couple of hours. We'll go all night, and then we'll finally wind down by very early tomorrow morning. So here's the high-resolution depiction of how this is going to play out. That snow coming through the southern lakes overnight, and then we'll get a little bit of snow in the mid-Atlantic region early tomorrow, and then behind that we see that strong flow coming across the lakes, and the lake effect is really going to kick in at that point. So here's a look at the forecast. Heavier amounts, as you might expect, coming off of Lake Erie in Ontario. That's where there could be several inches, maybe as much as a foot of snow there in the Tug Hill Plateau. And then it's mostly going to be lighter snow in the big cities, the major metros, for example, in D.C. and Philly, talking about not a whole lot of accumulation, probably about 1 to 3 there in the D.C. metro area, and that is through tomorrow. The other big story is the really cold air that's in place. Look at this in Chicago. We are talking about temperatures that are going to be below the average high right through the next 10 days. Unbelievable. 1 for a high on Wednesday, 5 on Friday, and then back up to a balmy 25, 26 by Sunday and Monday. Very, very cold air dominating across much of the U.S. in the coming days. Kelly Kim, back to you.
Balmy 25, 26. Carl, thank you. Well, deep freeze might be a good way to describe the Twin Cities right about now. Temperatures are frigid and they're about to get worse. Meteorologist Mike Seidel reports for us from downtown Minneapolis.
It's the coldest morning so far this winter, but it's going to get even colder here in Minneapolis-St. Paul. Our temperature this morning dropped down to 11 below zero, and the wind chill bottomed out at 29 below zero. Up in the icebox of America International Falls, they were down to 28 below, and the wind chill there was nearly 50 below zero. We're not going to get out of this deep freeze for several days, and because of this, everybody this morning was bundled up. Take a look, wrapped in the scarves, the mittens, the headgear, some folks covering just about everything on their face so you could just see their eyeballs. And we talked to one gentleman who took it all in stride. He really had a good attitude about this Arctic chill.
This is horrible. It's not surprising for Minnesota, but I'm still not prepared for it. There's just no getting ready for it. I'm freezing. I got on a snowsuit and everything, but I am still freezing cold.
If you live in Minnesota, you have to accept the fact that if it's winter time, it is going to be cold. But this is 20 degrees below average. In fact, this morning I cracked an egg on this piece of paper, and within 5 minutes, I had a frozen breakfast. It's going to get colder by Wednesday morning. The next shot of cold air comes in by Wednesday morning here, 14 to 15 below zero. The Clipper snows will stay primarily south of the Twin Cities. We're looking for an inch or less of snow this evening. And then again, the deep freeze. By next weekend, we should get back close to 20 degrees. In the meantime, layer up, protect yourself from frostbite and hypothermia. This cold can be deadly. I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel in Nicollet Mall in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh, thank goodness for those skyways out there, right? By the way, frozen egg, doesn't that sound good? Tell you what, you're going to need the hot oatmeal, the hot cocoa, the hot coffee and tea to really help get your body started in the morning because it is brutal out there. Take a look at this extreme weather on top of the rock pile here in New Hampshire. This is Mount Washington's observation where it's minus 20. That's the actual temperature. Winds, look at that, gusting to 100 miles per hour. And the wind chill factor right now, minus 68 degrees. Yeah, not a lot of folks up up there except for the good hardy ones taking those observations outside. But here's a look at other wind chills that we're dealing with. Minus 18 in Marquette, Michigan. It feels like minus 8 when you step outside in Chicago, so no wonder you really have to cover up as much as possible. Feels like minus 6 in Burlington, Vermont, and 0, the wind chill factor right now in Pittsburgh, PA. And as we go through time, you'll notice some pretty brutal wind chills, especially around Marquette. At times feeling like minus 25 to minus 30, minus 21 your wind chill factor in Minneapolis as we get into your rush hour tomorrow morning for the wind chill value in Kansas City. All the while, it's going to be really cold and snowing in Chicago. Winter weather advisory in effect until 6 o'clock in the morning. And here's a look at the highs tomorrow. Not very high at all. So it's going to be a very powdery snow that's coming in with this winter storm. Look at the cold air setting up all the way down toward the Tennessee Valley, where Memphis, that 30 degrees, that is 18 degrees below your average. Knoxville getting down to 27 for a high. So those overnight lows are going to be even more brutal. A lot of the country certainly experiencing below average temperatures. Kim?
Well, several communities across the South are spending this week cleaning up from severe storms that moved through over the weekend. The National Weather Service has confirmed at least 12 tornadoes. Now, this damage to the town of Rose Hill, Mississippi, this happened on Saturday. Severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes was here tracking those tornadoes. And as he explains, 2015 is off to a fast start in terms of strong storms.
Today, people in several communities across the South are cleaning up from a stormy weekend. At least 9 tornadoes cut across the region. One of them wiped out 10 homes in Rose Hill, Mississippi on Saturday. Georgia and Alabama also saw lots of downed trees and damaged roofs. At least 2 of those confirmed tornadoes are from Alabama. Severe weather expert Dr. Greg Forbes joins us now from the lab. And Dr. Forbes, it does appear that 2015 is off to a fast start.
Yeah, it really is. All of last January, 2014, only had 3 tornadoes. It seems as if we've had at least 11 now recorded over the weekend, the strongest at the Rose Hill area. But 2014 was very quiet. In fact, 2014 was the quietest in terms of percentage of average of any year on record since 1951. Just about 2/3 of average. 2013 was also quiet, so was 2012. 3 of the 5 quietest years, in fact, the past 3 years. So we've been in a little bit of a fortunate streak. This past weekend, we did have a tornado that struck EF2 rate at 130 miles per hour, Rose Hill, just to the southwest of Meridian, Mississippi. We have some brief video there from that that's showing some power poles down. We had 10 homes that were destroyed. Chassis of a mobile home was demolished. We have some video of that as well. Here's what the radar looked like from that time on Saturday. It was part of a supercell thunderstorm. Now, those supercell thunderstorms have rotating updrafts, and that was the outer part of this donut hole here. Now, the tornado was inside of that, and we could actually even see some of the debris signature on the radar these days. These debris signatures show up as blue holes inside of that precipitation. So a dangerous, damaging tornado that struck Mississippi, one of many that we recorded this weekend in a fast start to 2015. Back to you.
Well, snow can bring your morning commute to a standstill.
But you can't even hit the road until you clear the layer of ice off your car.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 69. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy early. A few showers are possible in the afternoon. High 80. Chance of rain 30%. Tuesday night, cloudy with a few showers. Low 65. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The adventures you've been imagining. The heroes you've been admiring. The worlds you've been dreaming of. The thrills you've been craving. The moments you've been missing. The vacation you've been looking for is here. Come and take it. Universal Orlando Resort. In
Enjoy more enthusiasm at mealtime with more varieties of favorite food brands at PetSmart. Save up to $5 now and save $10 later on select Hill's Science Diet or Ideal Balance food. PetSmart.
Stop by your neighborhood Ace and we'll help you get organized. 18-gallon totes, $3.99 after $1 instant savings.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Hurry! There's a hot offer for heartburn sufferers. Now try Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com. Hurry! It's free this week only. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Get Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com.
I am never getting married.
We're never having kids. We are never moving to the suburbs. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Saving and smiling. That's how I start the year. With tons of stuff on rollback, clearance, and more at Walmart. And that really puts a smile on my face.
Thousands of items on rollback and clearance, in-store and online.
Think fixing your windshield is a big hassle? Not with Safelite. This family needed their windshield replaced, but their daughter's heart was set on going to the zoo. So guess what? I met them at the zoo. Service that fits your schedule. That's another Safelite advantage.
Safelite repair, Safelite replace.
Bill, have you seen my keys anywhere?
I'll help you look. Maybe you left them in the bathroom again.
Just strangest thing.
The warning signs of Alzheimer's disease may be right in front of you.
It's all right, baby.
For help and information, call the Alzheimer's Association or visit alz.org/10signs.
You do a lot to keep your family safe at home. So make sure they're safer on the road. See farther, wider, better. Upgrade to Silverstar Ultra headlights from Sylvania.
Dad, I know I haven't said this often enough, but thank you.
Thank you, Mom, for protecting my future.
Thank you for being my hero and my dad.
Military families are uniquely thankful for many things. The legacy of USAA Auto Insurance could be one of them. If you're a current or former military member or their family, get an auto insurance quote and see why 92% of our members plan to stay for life.
No super slow motion footage of trucks splashing through the mud. No cowboy hats, horses, or hay bales. Just a Ram 3500 that head-to-head can out-tow Ford's F-350 by more than 1.5 tons. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com.
Welcome back. We've all been there, and it's no fun when you go out in the morning and your windshield is just coated in ice. You do have to clear it before you head out. So what are the options? Well, we put a frozen windshield to the test in this edition of Brainstorm. Sam Champion has our deep dive into the wow of weather.
It's an unwelcome sight. An icy windshield in the morning. It usually means your day will probably start with some extra elbow grease. So to find out if there's an easier way to de-ice a windshield, we'll set up a unique experiment inside the Brainstorm Ice Truck.
I'm Nick with the Brainstorm team, and most people scrape their windshield with a scraper. However, today we're going to use science to find the best solution to melt the ice on your windshield quickly and efficiently.
So to take a look at some of the cost-efficient homemade de-icers, Nick will start with rubbing alcohol. Rubbing alcohol is especially effective because its molecular structure gives it a freezing point of about 20 below zero. That's about 20 degrees colder than your average household freezer. But while rubbing alcohol did melt the ice, it took a lot of spraying and wasn't much faster than scraping it. So could there be something even better, maybe even in your refrigerator? Optimal de-icing solutions have substances dissolved in them called solutes. And some solutes actually dissolve in the thin layer of water that's on the top of the ice. This blocks water molecules from refreezing and starts a chain reaction of melting. So we decided to test solutions that stay liquid even in your freezer, especially high in calcium chloride salt solutes, like cheese brine or pickle brine. And we found they melted the windshield at rates even slower than the alcohol. Surprisingly, the fastest de-icer turned out to be a mix, a solution of salt and beet juice. It may be because it's sweet and salty. In a single can of beet juice, there are more sugar molecules than cells in the entire human body. And when sugar is wet, a physical change causes the sugar's hydrogen atoms to cling to just about anything. So while the other solutions slid down the 75-degree slope of our windshield, the extra stickiness of the sugar helps the beet molecules stay in place. The result? Less work for you and an evenly melted windshield. And incredibly, some tests have shown that beet juice has a freezing point at 25 below zero, meaning it could even melt ice on an average day at the North Pole.
And you've been brainstormed. Sam Champion, The Weather Channel.
Beet juice. We were going to see 2 invasions of cold air in the coming days, and that's going to plunge those temperatures even in the south. So the question is, where's all this cold air coming from? Kim is in the lab with the answer. What do you think, Kim? Beet juice?
No, there's no beet juice in my house, that is for sure. And I imagine it'd be quite a mess cleaning that up for sure. But I know
agree.
You like it though, right? You like beets, right,
I do like
Kelly?
beets, but I don't know about beet juice on my windshield.
Yeah, I don't think so. All right, thanks, Kelly. All right, guys, so Sam mentioned the North Pole and temperatures 25 below zero. We're going to talk about how temperatures like that may be coming southward with this next batch of cold air, where it's coming from. So we have some Arctic air that came through recently. Temperatures have dropped significantly across the east. That's cold, right? Some Arctic air. But we're really going to see a lot colder air coming southward and eastward with time. And where is its origins? Well, it's coming from the North Pole area, the Arctic region. So we have a direct line from there all the way in the deep south coming up, the way the jet stream is going to be oriented. We're going to see a lot of this cold air coming southward. So thousands and thousands of miles. Now, the good thing is by the time it gets to the south, it definitely does modify. So we're not going to see 35 below zero temperatures in the deep south. Atlanta, yes, it's going to get cold. It is going to reach you. We are talking about temperatures here, 15 degrees for your low Thursday morning. Of course, the kids back to school this week. Hopefully you have winter coats for them. They're going to need gloves and hats coming up this next couple of days. Actually, temperatures staying below average all the way, looks like, towards Friday. And Friday back to average by Saturday. All right, so who's getting the snow? Who's getting the cold? Carl Parker up next.
You get sick, you can't breathe through your nose. Suddenly, you're a mouth breather. A mouth breather. Well, put on a Breathe Right strip and shut your mouth. Cold medicines open your nose over time, but add a Breathe Right strip and pow, it opens your nose up to 38% more, so you can breathe and do the one thing you want to do, sleep. Add Breathe Right to your cold medicine, shut your mouth, and sleep right. Breathe Right. And look for the calming scent of new Breathe Right lavender in the sleep aisle.
Everyone sees the same sky, but when we look up, we see something amazing. This winter, you've got to watch the Weather Channel mornings.
It's going to have wide-ranging impacts.
Winter storms are too important to cover in just a few minutes.
It's going to be brutal for a lot of people.
Because it's not just about your forecast.
That's why those temperatures stay cold.
Look at this!
Listen to that!
See this winter like never before. Amazing starts here. The Weather Channel mornings.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 69. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy early. A few showers are possible in the afternoon. High 80. Chance of rain 30%. Tuesday night, cloudy with a few showers. Low 65. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Why do you want to do your taxes now with Jackson Hewitt? Because you need a free $50 Walmart e-gift card so you can share the joy of getting your taxes done. Now get a free $50 Walmart e-gift card when you do your taxes with Jackson Hewitt at Walmart.
Started my Camry. Picked up someone I hadn't seen in far too long. Went somewhere we'd both never been. Did something we'd both never done. And was reminded that the most important things in life aren't things, they're people.
The bold new Camry. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
Check.
Aha.
Energizer protects your devices from damaging leaks. Guaranteed.
You pay your auto insurance premium every month on the dot. You're like the poster child for paying on time. And then one day, you tap the bumper of a station wagon. No big deal until your insurance company jacks up your rates. You freak out. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Hey, insurance companies, newsflash. Nobody's perfect.
At school, they talked about the digital divide, the gap between people who can access the internet and those who can't, the haves and the have-nots. Well, today, my family becomes one of the haves.
Internet Essentials from Comcast offers low-cost computers and internet to lower-income families. It's part of our commitment to making sure that no one gets left behind in the communities we serve.
Now that we're online, anything is possible.
Comcast, connecting our communities.
Upon their arrival at Sandals, John and Susan realized they forgot their wallets. What are they going to do? Absolutely everything. At Sandals, your wallet gets a vacation too, because it's all included, all unlimited, all the time. Sandals, more quality inclusions than any other resorts on the planet. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
Thank you. Wild tiger numbers are at an all-time low. Please help save them now.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight. Wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. Take a look at this. That is steam. If you look very closely, the moving water, but there's steam right above it. That's the Chicago River from earlier this morning. It is bitterly cold in the Windy City, where temperatures are just barely above zero. And we've also got a winter weather advisory in effect until 6 o'clock in the morning.
All right, check this out. We're looking towards the sky in Chicago. No, those aren't clouds going by. Can you believe this? This is actually more steam that is rising. So maybe coming off these buildings, but I'll tell you what, it looks like clouds, but that's how cold it is.
And not just the smoke stacks, right?
Right.
Because there's a lot of chimneys and I'm sure fireplaces going in the Chicago area as well. But even our breath, we can see that because it is just so cold outside. And take a look at this. Nothing unusual about boiling water, but we want you to check out this guy in North Dakota. 14 degrees below zero. He's going to take a pot of boiling water and toss it in the air. Just take a look at what happens here.
Hold on. Okay, do it.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, the boiling water hits the air and it cools so fast that it becomes snow. That's wild. I love that experiment.
Very cool. Just be careful with the boiling water, right?
That's
Maybe
true.
the
Good
kids
point.
shouldn't play around with that sort of thing.
Adult supervision for sure. And adults, be careful too. All right, let's check in with storm specialist Carl Parker for your winter weather update. And Carl, a lot of places may see the ability to do this.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. We're going to get really cold across much of the country in the coming days. And so, yes, there will be plenty of opportunity for that. And it's been snow that we've been concerned about tonight. And I want to show you what's going on in Des Moines right now. Just got a storm report of 6.8 inches just northwest of downtown and 1 inch over the past 40 minutes. And it's been exceptionally cold there as well. Look at the condition of the roads. It doesn't matter what you put on the roads. You can put salt down or whatever. However, it's not going to do anything when it's really cold, and you can see that the roads are snow covered, and we had some pretty serious accidents. I-80 was closed for a time. It's now partially open. Now 35 is closed near Ames. That is southbound. Traffic is moving along, but it really was snarled for a time earlier today. And the snow now just about ready to wind down there in Des Moines. Notice that it's starting to really lighten up on the west side of town. So this is the beginning of the end of this particular snow event there in Des Moines, but continues on eastward into Cedar Rapids, where there's moderate snow right now. Davenport, Quad Cities getting some moderate snow, getting a little bit of snow, light snow in Peoria now, and just cloudy for the time being in Springfield. And the snow is not very far away from Chicago. It's also, by the way, been edging up into the Twin Cities. Very light there. Bit of snow also in La Crosse. And in Chicago, we'll get snow now through the wee hours of the morning. Probably not that much of it. The heavier snow is going to be farther south, Peoria, Champaign-Urbana, over into Indianapolis. That's where the core of it's going to be. In Chicago, about 1 to 3. A little bit heavier on the south and west side of town. Probably 3 to 5, maybe some pockets of 5 to 8. And then in Indianapolis, where it's going to start in very short order and then go through the night tonight and right into, say, right around the time when the sun comes up, we think about 5 to 8 inches likely there in Indianapolis. So certainly a tough commute in the morning, a possibility. Here's what's driving this, that upper low that's dropping down in the northwesterly flow loft. Here's the model depiction of that coming through the southern lakes, the Ohio Valley into early tomorrow morning. A bit of snow for the mid-Atlantic region, and then the lake effect is really going to kick in behind that. So we'll see several inches coming off of Lakes Erie and Ontario, maybe as much as a foot into the Tug Hill Plateau. Lighter snow most likely there around Philly. And we think maybe about an inch or two in the D.C. area, Beltway, and also up into the Baltimore area. That's going to be during the day tomorrow. Now, behind all of that, you've got this huge area of high pressure, really strong high that's going to build down, sprawling high all across the country. It's going to be exceptionally cold there in the northern plains and right around the lakes. And this area of high pressure is going to be among the strongest that we have seen in the lower 48. There's the average sea level pressure, 1013. The lowest non-tropical pressure we've seen in the lower 48 is 955. The record high pressure in the lower 48, 1064. That was set in Miles City, Montana on Christmas Eve, December 1983. And then here is the forecast pressure in Montana Wednesday morning at sea level 1059. So it's going to be up there near record territory. Ladies, back to you.
All right, thanks, Carl. We have one more thing to tell you about tonight that's coming up right after your local on Gates. And Atlanta, get ready for this. It's going to get really cold the next couple mornings. Temperatures dropping to the teens.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, some clouds, slight chance of a rain shower, low 69. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, partly cloudy early. A few showers are possible in the afternoon. High 80. Chance of rain 30%. Tuesday night, cloudy with a few showers, low 65. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain 30%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for one more thing to tell you about here at the Weather Channel, where we're actually looking for the rain to subside a little bit here in the Northwest. Thank goodness, a lot of rain the last 24 hours. So we're looking at a few scattered showers, but eventually we're going to see us drying out. By tomorrow afternoon, the sun will be peeking out in Seattle and Portland. We sure hope so anyway. So looking to the plains, no sun right now. We've got some snow and parts of Interstate 80 closed outside of Des Moines, so check ahead. We've had reports of over 6 inches of snow already with this band, and it's heading towards Chicago. So get ready for a snowy commute tomorrow morning in Chicago. And lake effect snow going on off of Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. A couple feet possible in this event coming up. Also, cold air invading the Northeast. Temperatures tomorrow only in the 20s in New York City. Bitterly cold for a lot of us. Temperatures remaining cold into Wednesday. Syracuse at 17 degrees. Thursday, we're checking out temperatures at 20s. All right, so you think you'd survive starts right now.
Deadly power lines dance around your car. And the earth threatens to swallow you whole. Can you avoid a thundering landslide?
Is it really worth your life?
They got killer bees down there. Don't go that way.
Or escape a swarm of furious bees?
Are they chasing you?
From a scorcher in the sun.
Second-degree sun blister burn.
To a sub-zero nightmare.
I've been stuck out here going on 10 hours.
Mother Nature makes the rules.
Natural disasters, extreme and unexpected danger. You will choose your fate.
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
You're standing on your back porch when you see a terrifying specter taking shape in the clouds.
Look at flying! Get in the house!
Hypnotized by its awesome power, you watch as the ominous funnel chews through neighborhood homes.
It's coming toward us.
Go! Read that door so I can get in.
Snap out of it.
Oh my God!
This tornado is coming straight at you. How would you survive this violent twister? Should you, A, keep watching the tornado to track where it's going? B, open all doors and windows to balance the internal and external air pressure? Or C, take cover in the basement to avoid flying debris? The choice is yours, but what are you really up against?
Tornadoes are spinning very, very fast, 200, 300 miles an hour sometimes. But their forward speed is much, much slower, moving maybe 10 to 40 miles an hour in most cases. Tornadoes occur across Europe, across Asia, Bangladesh, China, some even in South America. But by far, the biggest tornado risk, the biggest hazard is from the violent supercells that form in the Midwest and high plains of the United States.
Every year, nearly 1,000 tear through the heartland. The largest ones are over a mile wide.
A tornado is nothing more than an interaction between air currents. We have downdraft air versus updraft air, and they meet and they kind of exchange each other vertically, and that's where a tornado was born.
So whenever you're under that tornado warning, these days, if it's radar indicated and they're talking about seeing debris, there is a deadly, destructive tornado on the ground.
Twisters can cause billions of dollars in property damage and take dozens of lives. Neighborhoods gone. Semis tossed like toys. Nothing is safe, including you. The tornado is nearly on top of your house. So what should you do next? If you chose C, seek shelter in a basement, you'd be giving yourself the best odds of survival.
The goal is to seek a place where you're not going to be directly hit by debris